Hello everyone, welcome to all of you to the Nifty and Bank Nifty after-market analysis session at 5 p.m. today. Just like every day. This is the after-market analysis session where we look at what happened in the Indian market after the Nifty and Bank Nifty closed. We analyze where the buyers showed interest, where the sellers were interested, where significant buying activity took place, and where selling activity occurred. We try to read the footprint thoroughly. If you are new to order flow and want to learn it well, or want to learn how to use GoCharting effectively, you can watch and join these live sessions every day. The link for this live session is uploaded on the GoCharting Discord and Telegram community every day before 5 p.m. Additionally, if anyone is using GoCharting at that time, a notification is also uploaded here, from which you can join as well. Here are the two notifications, and the links to the recordings are also provided here as soon as the recordings are uploaded. Holy just passed and we had an offer of 30% off on all subscriptions during Holy. That same offer is still running and will continue until the 7th. There are only 5 days left, so if you purchase any subscription on GoCharting, you will get a 30% discount. It's a very heavy discount, so if you want to switch, this is the best time. Okay, so let's take a look at the footprint once. How to see confirmations on the volume profile, what levels are there, and all that. Once the volume profile gave a confirmation, and we simply marked it according to yesterday's volume profile. Yesterday's volume node was slightly here as well. It was said here that only if the order flow gives confirmation should it be considered. The main volume node was this, and the VIPIC zone was also here. After that, if we look at the past few sessions, this was from the last 45 sessions. The VIPIC zone of 6 sessions was formed here, and this value area emerged. There was a big node here. Okay, so this was the value area low. This value area will come in case it breaks down from here. This was the volume node we had. It was a simple confirmation of the volume profile, not complicated. And what was a good thing was that these large playing ranges. If it breaks from here, it breaks. Now let's see what we observed on the footprint. Based on the confirmation of these volume profile volume nodes. On a 5-minute time frame, the tick size for Nifty is 180. Meanwhile, you can set the tick size for Bank Nifty above 400, or you can adjust it according to your preference by paying automatically. Okay. Before reading the footprint properly, you should know what delta is. Now, what is delta? Because with the help of delta, we will read the footprint properly here. So what is delta? Delta, in simple language, is the difference between buyers and sellers. Delta means, like when we look at today's first candle, okay, what is the value of its delta? Around 32,000. 32,000. There is no negative sign in front of any value. Here, and inside one green box, so that means it's a positive delta. Positive delta means buyers. Whenever there's talk of positive delta, understand that it's about buyers. So, inside this candle, there are 2,000 more buyers as compared to sellers. It means there are 32,000 more buyers. For example, assume there are 100,000 sellers. Okay. Sellers are denoted by negative, and in the positive, there are 133,000 buyers. Alright, from the buyers, So where does the difference come in? There are 32,000 more buyers. How? Like if you had all the buyers on the right side. Just to understand once, assume their total is 100,000, 1 lakh. Around 32,000 was formed there. And when we added the sellers on the left side, their total was 100,000 sellers. So where did the difference come in? 32,000. The same, right here. The delta is currently more on the buyer's side. So it means this is a positive delta. There is no sign of negative. If we look at the same in the next candle, the next candle has a negative delta, with sellers in the negative delta. Alright. Like in this candle, there are 34,000 more sellers. The same example. If I add the sellers on the left side, for understanding, the total comes to, let's assume, 1,34,000. If I add the 34,000, and then add the buyers on the right side because the right side is for buyers, to the left side sellers buyers, then their total comes to. So, who is more? How much more are the sellers? 34,000. So right there, the delta has shown it. What is the essence or conclusion of each candle? Who is more powerful inside each candle, the buyer or the seller? That is what the delta is telling us. Like any candle, whether it is green or red. No, like look at this candle. It is a red candle, a bearish candle. But if we look at the delta, there was no selling in it at all. It has a positive delta, meaning there is more buying inside this candle. Just when the candle was here, when 5 minutes were up. Okay, order flow is a step ahead. So now what we will do is talk about both negative and positive data. There are some candles whose data is very low, just 13,000, 17,000, only 2,000. And there are some candles whose data is very heavy, 50,000, 81,000, okay, and 34,000. Okay, so there are some candle senses whose delta is very heavy, whether it's on the positive side or the negative side. And there are some candle senses whose delta is very low, like only 13,000. On the negative side, look at this, just 5,000, only 5,000. Okay, so basically we observed two types of things, one where the delta is very high, and two where the delta is very low, like these low ones. These are examples, this 45. So within these candles, buying and selling have occurred, but not as much as we can say it was one-sided, like a lot of buyers came in, or a lot of sellers came in. That's not the case here. And in candles with heavy delta, whether on the positive side or the negative side, what has happened is very heavy buying and very heavy selling. And where heavy buying and heavy selling occur, some market movement is captured, some movements are observed. These are the points where big buying and big selling happen, where we can say, yes, now this thing will work as support, or this thing will work as resistance. So where is the benefit? Where there is a big delta. So what will we do? We will pick only those candles whose delta is above 30 in Nifty, around 35, 25. Okay. Yesterday's deep zone was okay. The probability of it working as a support zone was very high as long as the market stays above it. Okay. The first candle's delta is always very high, but here it means there is a lot of buying and selling in the first candle, so always trade the first candle carefully. What is in the first candle? We saw the delta is around 30, so what will we do? The delta side is positive. Positive side means we are talking about buyers. There are more buyers. So if there are more buyers in this candle, we will only read the buyer's side, not the seller's side, because that's where the power is. Similarly, we will look at the delta of each candle and read them accordingly. We can also skip the first candle because it is above support. Okay, no selling activity. A good confirmation that a reversal can come from here. Secondly, whatever volume comes in the next candle, you can say that after the market stabilizes, volume starts coming in. Okay, in the next candle, what we saw was one selling activity. Now we can say that yes, any buying or selling activity. That happens after the first candle is within a stable market, because the first candle is not stable. We saw one selling at 34. Okay. And the minimum delta indicates that this selling once went up to 42. Who goes in this candle? The seller is more powerful. Which side of the sellers? The left side. So now we will go to the left side and see the place where the most selling activity happened. Again, looking at the delta, who is more powerful? The sellers, we went to the seller's side and we'll see the place where the most selling activity happened. Like the selling activity of T1, the selling activity of 27, the selling activity of 27 on the seller's side. This is the most powerful place where selling has happened. We marked this level. Now, one selling activity happened, but after this selling activity, what happened was the market reversed from there. So that means all the selling here was absorbed by this candle. In the next candle, there was a significant buying activity, and significant buying activity means this is an even more solid confirmation of selling. The absorption of this candle was done by the buyers here, and there was no buying exhaustion seen anywhere here. Look at this. 27, 23, and see where the biggest activity happened here, meaning there is a level of confirmation of selling above the support. The aggressive buyer center was absorbed. And now on the pullback, as it came back, a negative delta of the third scale's 2 candles was observed. Now, what about these candles? And this is the place where the most selling occurred. This was the particular spot where this selling broke the support, where the last selling action took place. It didn't happen. As soon as it tapped here, all the selling stopped in the next candle. Look at this. The positive delta of 17. Again, this next candle broke the selling zones of this candle as well. It held easily without any selling interest, and we saw a movement to the upside. A very nice movement to the upside. Again, we are reading those candles whose delta is around 30K. After the 30K delta of this candle, there was no solid buying or selling seen anywhere. 120K. Okay, and that's why it broke to the upside. Now, this is the candle where buying activity was observed. Around 100K positive delta, and again around 100K positive delta here. Look at which were the buying zones. The candle in which there was a buying of 100K, if we go to the buying side of that candle, this was the area with the most buying. This was the most significant area, 93, but what happened in the next candle? The market went below it, so we got an indication that there was buying absorption happening here. Again, in the next candle, there was another buying activity. The maximum delta indicated that the buying delta went up to 57, and this was the particular area where the most buying occurred, 45K. If we adjusted a bit, all the buying activity happened in this area, and after this buying activity, what happened? The market went down, a selling delta of 30K, again a selling delta of 65K, meaning the market took a significant rejection from here with considerable selling. The same zone held up later, with 1 rejection, 2 rejections, and 3 rejections from this same buying zone. After that, in the end, it tried to break around 3 o'clock. The order flow from 3 to 3:30 involves unnecessary things. So, if we look at Nifty today, what were the key points within Nifty? One seller was absorbed aggressively, which confirmed that there was solid selling absorption here, and aggressive buyers entered. The second pullback came with selling, but the very next candle broke all those selling zones, held well, and moved to the upside. In this upside movement, the most buying activity was observed here, but after this buying activity, the market reversed, which means there was buying absorption here. It held, got rejected, held on the pullback, got rejected, held on the pullback, and around 3 o'clock it tried to break once and closed right there. Okay, now let's quickly look at Bank Nifty to see what happened inside Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty, the same thing happened. Yesterday's VPOC zone was here. This was yesterday's VPOC zone. Okay, so until this zone is broken, we cannot expect anything bearish. We didn't see much selling here. There was aggressive buying, wire stepping. Okay, and the biggest buying was at 114, and there was buying here. Again, on the pullback, a significant amount of selling was seen, which was absorbed at 15 and 11, and it held without any selling interest after the selling absorption, and the same here. An upside movement was observed, meaning it took rejection from the VPOC zone. Significant buyers came in, a pullback occurred, and again, like Nifty, selling came in on the pullback. But all that selling was absorbed here. The next few candles held without any selling interest, and an upside movement was observed. Just like in Nifty, a big candle appeared here too. A significant buying activity occurred, all okay, and here it was absorbed. And just like in Nifty, it took rejections from this buying absorption, meaning both Nifty and Bank Nifty were the same here. Aggressive buyers stepped in, held on the pullback, and a good upside movement occurred. A buying activity was absorbed, and rejection happened from here. If you are an option seller, you could have earned a decent premium until 3 o'clock after 11 o'clock. Okay, if anyone has any doubts, please ask.